Well, that's super. How do you express or what's your nation on the diplomatic relationship of Ethiopia with abroad countries after the reform?
The things I was saying before was part of the diplomacy, especially the seeing as the enemy or this kind of spying politics of diplomacy system was there before. But after Dr. Abiy, that bridge was become that kind of blockage or something cannot be understandable, especially politicizing the security of the region. When I'm saying the region, the East African, the Horn, I am saying the Horn. You will allow, you will be friend with one today, or the rebellion with, of that country, your neighbor, to make them to make them unstable and unsecure people, nation like Sudan. Our aspect wasn't good on that. There's a rumors we was standing with the Riek Machar. That was not good. After Dr. Abiy came, that kind of actions will become to an end. He flies regularly to our neighbor countries, and after the discussions, all times we are hearing Ethiopia and Somalia is working on their integration, peaceful development, movement of the people, immigration, free of immigrations, like that. Hopeful discussions. And when you go to the Eritrea, the same. When you go to the Sudan, the same also. So on Kenya too, we make the border of Moyale wasn't good for the. It was ruled by the contrabandists. Human trafficking was there, especially on the Sudan border. So that kind of thing will become an end. I think Dr. Abiy, the situation helped by the personal, Dr. Abiy's personal knowledge on the security and development, and his background of the peace and on the peace actions, because he came from military, he knows about the peace, so he focused on the peace. If you see on the Maddamer book, the main base of the Maddamer is a plural goal, identifying of what is our main goal for our all goal. After identifying that main goal, we can achieve our unity, what are harmful to us, what are, and also I thinking he was delivering to the Maddamer thinking or Maddamer ideology to the neighbors they are using, especially recently. If you see, Somalia and Somaliland was separate for 13 years, 3-0. Yeah. And after they was in Djibouti on this month, on June, discussing, he bring Musabihi from Somaliland president and Farmacho in one table, the first time in 13 years, the two presidents. So that kind of thing is, the thinking and the work is appropriately good. And if you see the diplomacy, that kind of, the advantage of that diplomacy, in the recent meeting of the Arab nation, when the Egypt was claiming about the ground Renaissance, Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the two countries who oppose that decision on our act was Djibouti and Somalia, our neighbors. So at least we gain together now. So the Horn is depend on Ethiopia, and Ethiopia's depend on the Horn. The idea, that's the truth and the fact. But the idea wasn't on our politicians or our administrations, on the Horns, and especially on the Ethiopians. But now, the coming leaders of the never countries and our Ethiopian leaders recognize that, and they are giving their emphasis and knowledge and time to make a prosperous country at the same time by building our neighbors' securities and development. And that's good act of leader.
What makes the relationship of Horn of African countries unique and extraordinary?
When I go to the uniqueness of the Horn, the people of the Horn of Africa suffer together. There is no time one nation was happy or prosperous and the others was on disaster or chaos. They suffer together. Their developed era was together. If you go to the Sultanate time, from Zaila out to Sudan, there was a development, and they will all beneficiary. The nations right now in Ethiopia and also in the Horn. When there was a conflict between the Sultanate of the Islamic Sultanate of the Eastern and the the Christian Highlanders, they all suffer together.
Well, coming to the peace and stability of the Horn of African countries, most of the time, most of the African countries or most of the Horn countries are unstable.
Yeah.
There is no peace and there is no sustainable peace and democracy are achieved in the most of the Horn of African countries. Why this, and for the future, what kind of work should be done in order to solve this problem from its base?
Yeah. To put it in short, the instability of the peace and security of the region, especially in the Horn, is more related to the interest of foreign affairs. If you search the root of the cause of the conflict, you will get about it's becoming from the colonization. As Ethiopian, we didn't colonize it, but our brothers are colonized. One nation is going to, for instance, if we take Somalia, they are one nation in one religion under one home of genetical system, but you will see them on 5 countries. So this kind of thing, the border solution, the border conflicts, the question of the resource, livelihood of the pastoralist is the means of conflict in the region. The main work for this work will be on Ethiopia, especially. That is, I think, why Dr. Abdi is focusing on making the regions and neighbors peaceful, because he understands that no man is island. One hand wash the others. There's a proverb like that in Somali. So you can bring your brothers up. After that, you will go to your next step. Our next step is development. Now we are not the time as Ethiopian. We are not on the time of needing for the justice. We need a development. A hungry man is angry, especially on the youth. The bringing and making the people on systematically interrelated, building upon the development system, and bringing especially the younger force a arena they can be debated each other, plan their future, and discuss what's wrong with us. Let us do by this way. What about this arguments? We as a youth, we are not interrelated, especially on the Horn, specifically on Ethiopia, because we are owned by different organized system. especially the main called Adarajajet. So that things of boundaries must be out, especially if we are fighting for the mind of the Horn of Africa. So if we are the main center who are solving the problem of Horn of Africa, we have to solve our problem. Our people, our brothers are waiting for us. So let us get together our problems and then go to the next step.
Well, coming to the other point, what are the causes of the disputes, especially originality disputes, for example, or in particular in Somalia and Somaliland? If I'm not mistaken, you will correct me, they share the same language, the same culture, the same religion again. So why the disputes?
The dispute is go back, especially on the socialist government, the Siad Barre government. There was a marginalized people, the Somalilanders, who are the North, and there was on the governmental side they opposed them. The first people who to oppose them was the Somalilanders. The system of the at that time, they built a freedom fighters who called themselves SNM, and the Somaliland president is one of that SNM people, and they assembled like patriots. They fight him, unlike the other Somalis people. There was a oppositionists, but they didn't go to the like the Somalilanders. They fight him up to for a long time. After that, in 1991, the Siad Barre regime was declined, and it has been gone. After that, they claimed themselves as a sovereign nation, even though it is not recognized by the African Union, even by Somalia. The Somalis are the Somalia government saying, no, you are not a country, we are one country, you are our brothers. Not, no, you are, even though we are brothers, the Somaliland is saying, even though we are brothers, we want to be our own countries. So that kind of negotiation are in the place, but the massacres and there was a many genocides by Siad Barre region on Somalilanders. That make them, the first dispute was that make them, and even though after one generation the problem is there still right now, they didn't solve it, I think, but they will solve it as soon as possible.
Well, coming to your organization where you are serving now as an advisor at the Ministry of Youth, Women and Children Affairs of Ethiopia, what kinds of focus that your organization or your ministry has been exerting in benefiting the youth, in benefiting the children and women?
Yeah, especially I'm proud to be at this time, because on the time of Dr. Abdi is here, working closely with the government. It's a suitable time, and I hope it will be like this for a longer time, to get the advantage and chance to come to come work with this kind of big agency. As a ministry, we are working on our 10 years plan. As a nation, it's working on the 10 years plan. So we are focused on the rights and the representation and the benefit of women, children and youth, collaborating how to achieve the rights, the representation and the benefits of human, children and youth. We are focused on that, compiling by this kind. We are planning on that. It will be on air on next week, hopefully. And also we are bringing the youth integration, youth to youth integration, women to women integration. Because if the Somali youth organization in Jijiga didn't have a connection with the Oromia region, Oromo Youth Federation, the federation thing will be not in that place. So we are working how the youth can be exercise their integrations, their ability to work with together, how they communicate and practice leadership thing together, like that. Because the leaders of tomorrow are the youth, and the focus must be on the youth right now. Even though Dr. Abiy is say nice thing to say, the youth are not only tomorrow leaders; they are also today's leaders. And we see in many ministries like that. The Ministry of Mines, this is 30 years old ministry we have. So that kind of thing will be approved, and we are trying to bring the representation of youth to the development, to the justice, and also to the governmental, and on making the job creation system. Unemployment is what we are facing in many aspects. Economical problem is there, and that we are working on how to solve the economical problem of the youth on this arena, especially on this arena.
Well, I'm almost close to end my questions. Finally, if you have any message regarding the current situation of the country, you can.
Okay, thank you very much. Before that, I would like to thank your television, especially on working every time they welcome us on open-minded and open hands. Especially before 2 years, they welcome us, and without them we will not receive that kind of achievements. So please take my greetings and thanks to the management of the OBN. Also, my message is currently as a youth, because I don't want to be separated from a youth who did a good is I have that credit. I have to take the credit for the youth who not working, or the youth who are making disaster things like in 2 weeks. I don't want to talk about that because I'm ashamed. But as a youth, we have to keep our peace, especially. We are not our only peace, our nation's peace, our mother's peace, our sister's peace, so we can get a future, a bright future. Also, we can start from now. So as a youth, we have to keep our peace and stand for our peace, solidarity, unity. Let us work on that. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you very much again for coming and for having such a wonderful interview with us. Thank you very much. Well, viewers, thank you very much for joining us. That's all what we had for now. This will bring us to the end of this new edition. I'm Kabaundi, your host. Have a wonderful weekend.